AyoGG, welcome to a brand new episode of the AyoGG podcast. And today I'm finally going to talk with you guys about the MIK Festival 2022. I promised it to you. I promised that I would release a podcast episode where I tell you guys about how it has been, what happened there, and so on and so on. And finally today, I'm really sorry that it took so long, but I needed time to digest what happened. Why? You will find out in this episode. Maybe before we deep dive into the festival day, a bit of general information about the MIK festival. The MIK festival was split into actually 2 days. There was the Saturday, which was the first day, the K-pop day, and the second one was the K-hip hop day. I was on the venue only on the K-pop day, but I also let's say, witnessed in a way the hip hop day. More to that later on, but this episode will focus on the K-pop day, just to clarify that in advance. And who performed at the K-pop day? Well, we had Red Velvet, Suho, Pentagon, BBG, Eunha, Golden Child, Cherry Bullet, and Holland. These artists performed at the K-pop day. Originally, it was also planned that Billy would perform there, but unfortunately, due to COVID cases, they weren't able to attend. But what I can definitely say, it is sad for Billy fans, but overall, I can say there was so much going on the stage. It was packed enough in a way. So what happened? I'm not going to talk about the vacation that was also part of this entire trip. I'm going to focus for you guys on the part that's probably the most interesting for you on the K-pop day. And the K-pop day for us honestly kind of started 1 day earlier. Because that's when we arrived in London. We landed there, got to our hotel, and instantly wanted to go to the venue 1 day prior. Not to already camp there and make sure that we will be first place no matter what. I mean, there were those thoughts, but we thought okay, we were just going to be really early on the next day, and that's going to work out. Spoiler, it did. It did work out. But what our idea was we kind of wanted to have a little battle plan, you know? We wanted to scout the area to make sure that when we arrive the next day, we know exactly where we have to go, how everything will work there at the venue. Because if you have been at concerts, it's not always that 100% clear, and since it was an outdoor festival, there were no sitting places where you could book tickets for. And since we had not first row ticket, that's not true, but there were 2 kinds of tickets. There were the regular tickets, and there were the Golden Circle tickets, and Golden Circle was basically nothing else than directly at the stage, you know? At the stage, a certain area, and then after this area, which was separated through fences, there were the regular places for the bit cheaper tickets. And we were okay, which one are we going to get? Well, since BBG and Red Velvet were there, it was pretty obvious that we would go for the Golden Circle, because once in a lifetime experience, I want to be as close as possible. So yeah, we went for the Golden Circle tickets, and that's why we wanted to scout out the place. Because even though you have those tickets, it does not mean that you will be really close, as close as possible to the stage. So we wanted to make that little battle plan. So we got to the hotel and instantly took the underground to the, what was exactly the name? The Southwark Park. I think. Yeah, Southwark Park was where all of this took place. And it's a pretty big park. So this was already kind of a thing where we wanted to find out in advance where exactly the venue is. Because depending on where you're entering the park, you have to walk quite a bit or not. And we didn't know in advance where exactly in the park it was. So that was task number 1, find the venue, which was relatively easy. You walk around a bit in the park, and you could already see from afar a bit of the stage. So we got close to there, and yeah, this was this big area that was like blocked through tall fences. But between the fences, you could always like get a little sneak peek of what's inside. And there we had, yeah, the actual stage of the MIK. And this is something I really have to give to the MIK. The stage looked super cool. Like, it was a really nice design that they had there. It looked quite, like, for at least for me personally, really different from all the stages I have seen until now. It's not like I have that much experience with like concerts and stuff, but this was definitely impressive just from looking at it. And then we were like, okay, let's circle around it to see where the entrance is and so on. And we did exactly that, and relatively fast we came to the area where they kind of put the line fences, you know, the fences where you like have to stand inside to kind of form the lines for the entry. And this was already the first thing that that made us a bit like anxious. We were standing there, and there were 2 like basically lines that you could follow. And that was a bit strange, because we were like, okay, which one is the line we actually have to take? There were no signs or something like that. So that was already a bit difficult for us. But we were like, okay, that is a thing we can wing tomorrow. We're going to be able to find that out somehow. Tomorrow there will be signs to show us which line we have to get into. Spoiler, no, there were not. So then we scouted more on the fences, and the interesting thing was there was like one section where they had much lower fences than the others. When we were like, okay, this is where we have to get creative, because this was the only place where we could like theoretically have the chance to see or take a look really into the venue, because we wanted to find out, okay, how does the stage look? You know, to kind of make a plan, where do we even want to go on the stage, you know, to make sure that we get a nice place. And what we did was, we took one of us on our shoulders, and even that wasn't enough to like look over the fence, and then we took a phone and held it over the fence and filmed a bit to then check out the video to kind of see, yeah, how exactly does this venue look. I would like to show you the video, but honestly, you don't really see much. it was like it wasn't that like much of a success as we have hoped for, but we found pictures like online how the stage could look, and then we made kind of like our battle plan. Our plan was, you have like the main stage, and then like a little corridor from the main stage towards a smaller stage which is closer to the audience, which is like, I think, pretty basic in a way. And we were like, okay, we're either going to stand like right in front of the little stage, or like on the right side, close to the like corridor connecting the 2 stages. And this is also the place where we then actually went later on, the second one. So this was already really exciting for us. It already hyped us up a bit. We also found the entrance where like the artists would enter later on. Obviously, we didn't see anything yet, but it was just a bit more to hype yourself up before the big day, because we were all pumped as hell. Maybe you can imagine. I mean, especially me, BBG. Guys, BBG live. I was shaking already the day before, okay? Then we jump to the next day. We went there early in the morning. Thankfully, we learned before we went there, like one day prior, that there would be a strike from like the train drivers and stuff. So we planned ahead and took like a cab there. We arrived there pretty early in the morning. How early? I think like 6 hours prior to entry, something like this. Not quite sure, something like this. And of course, there were already people there. We also thought, I mean, would it be maybe, should we camp there? Then we found out the park is closing at a certain hour. I think like 10 p.m. something like this. The park was closing, something around that, and was opening around 7 in the morning. I could be completely off with all those times. I forgot it again. But that's why we thought, okay, we're not going to camp. There are not going to be so many people camping like that. And yes, we weren't the first people there, but the row in front of us was relatively small. Like, we arrived and we were like, okay, we did the right thing. Like, we were able to sleep in our hotels. Theoretically, I didn't sleep much. How could I? How could I with these thoughts in my head? But yeah, we arrived there, sat in the line, and we were just sitting there where all the rest were sitting, because we thought, like, you know what? The people that arrived that early will probably be the Golden Circle people, and we were right. Those were the Golden Circle people. We sat there and waited in the sun. And I thought I planned everything pretty damn well, but there was one crucial thing that I absolutely forgot, which is something you shouldn't forget, guys. So take that knowledge from me, which is like common sense, honestly, but I'm just stupid and I was excited, and don't judge me. Sun cream. Use it. I didn't, and I was sitting there the whole freaking day in the sun. Not healthy, not good, and this hardcore sunburn I got after that day showed that. But yeah, guys, please remember that. Use it multiple times a day, not just once. Don't be stupid. Think of your health. So, I didn't, and I was sitting there. I was eating the worst bagels I have ever made in my life, because I had bread I didn't like, and I had like stuff to put on that I didn't like. It was the only thing I got, okay? So I ate that just to have something in my stomach and to contain my excitement somehow. Didn't work. I was sitting there the whole time anxiously, and yeah. And while we were sitting there were, kind of as always with those K-pop concerts, which is something I really, really like. There were fan sites going around and yeah, handing out stuff to us that we could like show during the concert. We could like pick groups we wanted to hold stuff for, and they also brought us stuff. They have like bracelets they have made themselves, and I have those with me here. For the bracelets. Here, I can show you. Can you see it? This bracelet, I don't know if you can read it. If you're only hearing to the audio right now, you don't see anything. It's okay. It's just one of those, bracelets with the pearls and a little cubes on them with letters on it. And I got the BBG bracelet, so it basically spells BBG and has some pearls on the side. It's a really cute idea. I always like when the fan clubs are doing stuff like this. And there were like little banners they handed out. I got BBG and I got Red Velvet, because those were the two groups I was most excited about. And I didn't want to take more than these, because I was like, I mean, there are other people who maybe also want to get the stuff. So I didn't want to like, okay, give me that. And please also Changa, and please also blah, and please blah, blah, blah. And also Cherry Bullet, come on. I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on my two mains, and I will just cry for the rest. So that is exactly what I did. So we were waiting there, and finally it was time to get in there. We continued to walk inside, and of course, on the right side, as we entered, there were like all those places where you could buy something to drink and food and merchandise and stuff like this. But of course, there was no time for that. We had to make sure we secure our places, and yeah, we ran. We ran towards the golden circle area, which is interesting. You got a little bracelet from the festival themselves, which kind of symbolized which area you belong to. So we went there through the little security gate, the second security gate, and the only thing that separated us from the main stage. And as soon as we arrived, 6th gear, guys, we ran like crazy, and we actually managed to get super close to the stage. Like, I'd say around, I mean, basically it was first row, first in the half row, kind of, you know? We arrived there, like, it felt like I could basically reach the freaking stage, okay? So, I was 100% satisfied with the places we were, and from that moment on, it was like, okay, this is where I have to stand now for quite a while. So once again, multiple hours pass, I think 2.5 hours or something like this, and then it was time for the concert to start. And I'm not going to like deep dive into each and every artist here, because there are simply not all of the artists. Simply cannot talk about all of the artists because I'm not into all of the artists, and I could just say, yeah, they were there, but I already did it at the beginning. So I'm going to jump to talk mainly about the artists I have been really interested in, or that kind of also surprised me from their performance. So the first artist that appeared that I was super pumped for was Cherry Bullet. Cherry Bullet, a group that I am following since their debut, and one of the most underrated groups in K-pop, that is for sure. And I was so pumped to see them in real life. And it's just like the moment, guys. The moment, there was always a little like intro video playing before the artists entered the stage, and at the moment Cherry Bullet appeared in this video, I was so freaking excited, okay? I was jumping up and down, excitedly waiting for them to arrive, and then it happened. They came up the stage, and I screamed my lungs out, obviously. It's Cherry Bullet. And yeah, they came there and started performing their songs, and I completely lost my shit. Like, even songs, I mean, if you know my channel, you may know that I did not make a reaction to Love in Space. Reason for that, pretty simple. I recorded it, but Love in Space is a song, I'm not really a big fan of it. And maybe there's something interesting for you to know. If I don't upload a video to something that I would normally do, maybe for a group, you know, the reason is I didn't like it. And I don't upload stuff about songs that I didn't like, because I'm not lying, you know? I'm then sitting there like, I don't like this, I don't like how this sounds. And I'm like, who am I making this video for right now? You know, I'm making the video mainly for people who like to see probably videos about Cherry Bullet. And if you like Cherry Bullet, you click on this video and you just see a guy sitting there like, I don't really connect to the song. I don't really see what's good on the song. I don't like the sound of it and stuff like this. What's the point in the video? You know, it's not fun for you, it's not fun for me, then why make a video or release a video for this? But this is kind of, I'd say, the magic of concerts or festivals overall. Songs feel different they have a different impact on you when you see when you see the artist in front of you performing it, when you get like the energy from around you, you know, from people celebrating what is happening in this exact moment. Like, even if it's artists you don't normally like listen to, like for me personally, I don't normally listen that much to Pentagon or Golden Child, but or Holland, but when you were on the stage performing in front of us, I was super hyped. I was super happy. It was super cool because the energy, and they were having fun on stage, and it's just a different experience than just listening to the song or watching the music video. And the same was like with Love and Space. I mean, everything else of Cherry Bullet I adore. I love 100%. So Love and Space is the only song that's kind of like breaking out of that. But even that, when Love and Space played, I was so game. I was so excited. I was singing along, and it was such an amazing experience. And Cherry Bullet on stage, they were, for me personally, from like my favorite performances, favorite artists that were there, they were definitely the one embracing this, I'd say, kind of typical idol performance the most. They were standing there, they were doing their in sync group choreos, and they made that in my opinion, from the feelings that I got there, in perfection. They really drew you in, and this is something I'm going to say pretty often today, guys. I'm sorry, but dude, they were gorgeous. I mean, yes, 4K fan cams are amazing, but I really have to say, guys, nothing beats seeing them in front of you. When they walk this like this corridor, this catwalk to the smaller stage, and they walk towards you, and they look at you, and they look at you. I locked eyes with Yuju, guys. My bias in Cherry Bullet. We locked eyes. I showed her a heart. She showed the heart back directly at me. And this was not the only time this happened. And I will fanboy more later. There's a lot of fanboying going on here. Okay? My heart exploded in that moment, okay? I was like, okay, from now on, there is a connection, okay? There is a connection. She has seen my face. She of course, she instantly forgot it again, obviously. But for a brief moment, she knew of my existence. So, these moments, like, really kill you. These moments, and it's also this complete absurd kind of thought that is crossing your mind. The moment Cherry Bullet came on stage, my thought was, and it's not super stupid, but really is like that. It was like, do they exist? You know? Because until that moment, theoretically, it could all be a scam. They could be really well made. Like video animations. No, I can tell you guys, they are real. They were in front of me, and they were gorgeous. They performed amazingly. I absolutely loved Cherry Bullet's performance. It was so cool. And the best thing about their performance for me personally was their smiles, because they looked like they absolutely loved being there. You know, all the other artists that were there also looked happy to be there. But for Cherry Bullet, I don't know. It just looked like they were themselves, like, just as hyped as we were in the crowd, to be there, performing there, seeing us, cheering on them. I screamed my lungs out, I swear. From, like, the side I swear I was the loudest. Maybe it's just, like, the selective thinking of myself, but for me, I didn't hear anything else. I just heard me and Cherry Bullet. We had this connection. Probably bullshit. But for me, I was the driving force there. I'm going to tell a story like that. And yeah, it was absolutely beautiful, and Cherry Bullet performed the songs. Unfortunately, they did not perform Hands Up, my favorite Cherry Bullet song. But it's okay. It's okay. They performed many amazing songs. And like my love for Cherry Bullet just rose even more than has already have been. Okay, that was Cherry Bullet. Next up, the artist I want to talk about is Eunha. Eunha, one of the three soloists that we had there with Holland and Suho. Eunha and I, we know each other, you know. No, I know Eunha since episode 1, Produce 101. Back when it aired, I watched it almost live, I would say. I watched it always, I think, 1 week later, like when the subtitles were available, or 3 days later, something like this. Doesn't matter. Since then, since I first saw Eunha performing there in the evaluation, and everyone's like blown away by her dance, I love Eunha. And once again, to see her and IOI. I mean, one of my all-time ultimate favorite groups, IOI. Eunha was there performing her songs, and holy shit, was she amazing. Like, to see, once again, it is so different to see her performing like on music shows through video, or to see her dance like actually in front of you. It's insane. She looked gorgeous. Her styling was absolutely outstanding. Like, whoever did that styling for her, mad respect. I hope you get the biggest raise like ever. It was so cool. And the biggest highlight of Eunha's stage was that she actually performed a song that was not even released yet. A song that is going to be on her next album. She did a pre-release performance there. And oh my god, how cool was that when she dropped it? The crowd lost their shit, obviously. And I'm going to, if I find it, a video of it, I'm going to link you this special performance in the video description. There has to be some kind of fan cam taken. I'm going to link it for you. And the song is so good. It sounded so damn good. I got so hyped in that moment for her upcoming like album. Or if the title track is only half as good as this song, this is going to be one of the absolute best comebacks Eunha's ever did. But another thing that I really want to point out for Eunha's performance was her insanely well-made crowd work. Like, Eunha was really good with the crowd. I was really impressed by that. Because she, like, always, I had the feeling that she was looking into the crowd, that she was like communicating somehow with people in the crowd. She constantly faced us directly and to pump us up. And just her stage presence, you know, even though she's a solo artist, was impressive. I was completely over the moon by Eunha's performance, and the people around me too. Like, it was so loud for her. She was definitely one of the main events for the people there, and can absolutely understand. Eunha, outstanding, beautiful, amazing performances. Roller Coaster was performed. That's all I wanted. Absolutely all I wanted. I completely lost my shit. Beautiful. Next one I'm going to skip for now, because it was my favorite performance. You already know who I'm talking about, who I'm referring to. Because after my highlight of the evening, I was like, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to drink. I need to finally drink. I didn't drink the whole freaking day. So it was time. The whole day in the sun, in the scorching heat, within all those people. And this is really something I have to say. am I going to say it already? No, I'm going to skip it later. But a lot of things happened that made me go out of the premium position that we had, because I was like, okay, it's going to be difficult to get close again later for Red Velvet. But, I mean, health is important. And I really needed to drink something, because it got to a point where I was like, whew, it was dizzy. So I went out to drink something. And the next highlight for me was when I was still in a golden circle, but I was in an area where you had actually like space to like even lie down, okay, on the grass. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that, because I thought the next act is going to be someone where you can do that, where you can still enjoy it, without like facing this person directly. And I'm talking about Suho. The thing about Suho is, if you're not really familiar with his discography, EXO member, obviously, his discography is really, I'd say, mellow overall. He has a lot of ballads. He has a lot of like emotional songs. So I was like, there's probably not going to go on that much on the stage itself. And one thought that kind of like supported this was that they brought a band on the stage for Suho. Like they brought drums and guitars and stuff like that, which already made me think, okay, this is going to be one of those performances. So I decided to, with my friends, go away from the crowd and I lied down in the grass, was looking in the sky, and Suho was starting performing. And I'm shitting you not, guys. This was the absolute accidentally awesome, okay? This was the best like decision I could have made, because not only was I able to like recharge a bit, to recharge my energy, but when I was lying there looking into the clouds and Suho was singing, like Gray Suit of Suho, the song Gray Suit, in that moment, you know, it started to get a bit darker. In the like, what was it? Was it like 8 when he got on stage? 8 p.m. Maybe something like this. 8 like 9:30 maybe, something like this. But it got a bit darker because there were also darker clouds and stuff. And I was lying there looking up. Wind was blowing, so it was really nice atmosphere. And Gray Suit of Suho was playing, and I was like, I was in heaven. You know, that was absolutely perfect. After all the stress we had before, and which I'm going to talk about later more, this was such an feel, because I have also like a lot of criticism, and that important criticism. I was lying there and just enjoying this moment, and this was like the most perfect like festival feeling I've ever had, and is in my mind is somehow possible. Because you did not have to fight with anyone for a space there. You didn't have to like scream your lungs out. You didn't have to like sweat through every part of your body because there are like thousands of people around you. No, you were just lying there chilling with the perfect artist and the perfect songs for this. And this is really something that like elevated Suho and his entire like discography for me, from I like it to I love it. I listened to so much to Suho since this festival, because now I'm really connecting him and his songs and his style of songs and his style of singing with this feeling I had while lying there in that moment on the grass. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So Suho, my absolute, like, I would say, surprise highlight of this entire day. Then the main event, for the most, and my close to favorite, for this day. The grand finale, Red Velvet. Unfortunately, that I have to add, without Joy. Joy wasn't able to join due to, if I'm not mistaken, due to her drama shooting. But the other 4 were there, and oh my god, was that an experience. I mean, there too, I'm following Red Velvet since their debut. I love Red Velvet since their debut. Like, I loved Happiness, and of course the kind of unofficial debut in a way with then Yeri joining and Ice Cream Cake. One of my all-time favorite groups in K-pop. Absolutely outstanding. And then again, it was after Suho, so it was darker, even darker. It's more wind was blowing, and you could like really see the lights of the stage. The monitors of the stage really now had like you could really see it better because there was no sun shining on it or from behind it, you know. The entire lighting was just perfect. The weather was perfect because it started to like storm a bit at times, which just made you feel even, I don't know, it made you feel even cooler in a way, you know. And we stood up after Suho and went to fight our way back in. And we were pretty close then again to not our previous spot, but to the smaller stage in the front. And once again, I have to say, we made a lot of good decisions that day. Best decision we could have made. Because, yes, we weren't in the first row, but that wasn't necessary. We had good positions, really, really good positions. We were pretty close, and the stage was so high that you could still see them like standing right in front of you from where we were standing. And then it started. Red Velvet's intro video started playing, and the crowd lost their shit. I would say it was like the loudest from the entire day, from what I kind of felt. I'd say definitely from all sides we could hear this like ear-hurting noise level of screams for Red Velvet, and they came on stage and they started to perform, and it was absolutely beautiful, absolutely outstanding. The first few songs they performed on the main stage, which was relatively far away, but still you could see them really well from our positions. Also due to the height of the stage. This was really well thought from the MIK festival. I really have to praise that. And also the monitors, you could always see them on there, which was also really good camera work there. Another thing I have to praise the MIK festival for. But relatively fast, at least it felt from like that, they started to go towards the small stage, to the stage in the front, and there they stayed, and there they slayed. Holy shit. I was completely out of my mind with Red Velvet there, because I locked eyes, guys, multiple times with them. I locked eyes with Seulgi. My heart freaking bursted in that moment. And Wendy. Oh my god. Oh my god. And Seulgi and Wendy's vocals live. I was in heaven. Seriously. Suho already like brought me close to it, and Red Velvet then like dragged me into heaven. That was the absolute best. Okay? And then there was a moment where I thought, okay, this is now it's getting too good to be true. Because suddenly they started performing there on the small stage right in front of me. You Better Know. You Better Know is a B-side from their Red Summer album. My, honestly, favorite album of Red Velvet ever. I absolutely adore this. Every song on the album. And especially one of my all-time favorite B-sides of Red Velvet. Maybe even my favorite, honestly. You Better Know. I think it's my favorite B-side of Red Velvet. And I did not expect that song to play, like at all. It was completely out of the blue for me. And suddenly, the song started, and I screamed. I screamed so loud. There were people in front of me who screamed the whole time, who suddenly were like, turned to me like, and looked at me like, oh, holy shit. You Better Know by Red Velvet, and the wind was blowing into their faces. Their hair was flowing in the wind. It was amazing. It was perfect. And I was singing that the whole time. You saw that it was a B-side because not as many people as normally sang along. But don't worry, I got them covered. I sang the entire freaking song with them. And that was such a beautiful moment. Holy shit. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about this. But the absolute highlight and the best possible ending, honestly, for this entire day was Red Velvet ending with exactly Red Flavor. Oh my god. Is it my favorite Velvet song? I think it's my favorite Velvet song, yeah. Red Flavor. After You Better Know, Red Flavor. And I mean, I think you guys can imagine. Red Velvet already the main event. And then the second the music started, the crowd lost their shit. Okay, everyone was like, okay, let's go. This is our freaking moment. Everyone was jumping. Everyone was jumping for Red Flavor. And everyone was singing along from beginning to the end. Ba bang a man. Come call me honey. I was dancing. I was dancing the song. One of the few choreos I can somewhat. I know the moves. I can't dance them really. You know me, I can dance. But I can imitate them in a way that you can kind of guess what I'm trying to do. And this is more I can do like for 99.9999% of everything else in K-pop. I was completely escalating the whole freaking time, and the people around me too. That was a connection going on there. Every single person on this festival knew the song, loved the song, knew the choreo, and showed it to Red Velvet. And yeah, this was the ending of the MIK festival, of the K-pop day, and of Red Velvet. And I can't stress enough how perfect this ending was. Like, after we recharged our energies with Suho and then bursted it out, the collected energy once more for Red Velvet, it was absolutely outstandingly beautiful. Here, Red Velvet live is, if you guys get the chance to see Red Velvet live, do it. Please, please, please do it. They are, for me personally, they were the absolute best at crowd work. Not only because they performed the whole time, not the whole time, but I felt like most of the time on this front stage, but because the way they played with us, they encouraged us. They often did not really dance their choreography there on the front stage. They just interacted with us, and that was all they needed to do. That was all they need. I don't need them to 100% perfectly perform their choreo there all the time. I have music show performances for this, okay? This is not what I need. But them genuinely enjoying being there with us, playing with us, embracing this moment with us. Perfect ending. Perfect group for the ending. Red Velvet. Mwah, holy fucking shit. But this was the second time I threw away my entire energy. The first time, my absolute highlight of the day, of course, BBG. Just honestly, just saying this right now, my heart is starting to boom, 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 boom. Because this was really interesting. I was honestly a bit surprised of how many fans BBG had there. I don't know if it was like the entire festival or just like the area I was in, but I felt like almost everyone in my area was a Nabi and was ready to tear up the shit. Because, and this was also a bit annoying for a specific reason. The second BBG's intro video started, I got squashed, guys. I got freaking squashed, okay? And there was like, I was basically, my hand was at the very front like fence, the only thing that's separating us from the stage, okay? So that's just so you know how close it was. That's what I went with, like 1.5, like row 1.5. And the people in front of me were smaller than me, which meant nothing. There was nothing separating me from the girls, okay? But suddenly everyone was like pushing, and the problem was there was a girl in front of me, like one head smaller than I was, and I was like completely squashed towards her, and she was squashed in front of like the fence in front of her. And I mean, this shit is dangerous, you know? I mean, this is really, like, not necessarily for me. I'm tall enough, at least in that moment. No, not that tall, honestly. But in that moment, I was tall enough to not have that many problems. But for her, like, she was really getting squashed into this fence. And I really... I fought really hard back. And I'll say it right here, right now, I really scolded the people behind me, like, screamed at them. Like, if you were one of those people, and I know the people immediately behind me are not at fault, they were also pushed, but I screamed like at the entire crowd there. I was really pissed in that moment. Because we also saw people like really collapse next to us because of the heat and the sun and the pressure of the people around you. So this was really not cool. But everyone, thankfully, relaxed, kind of. Maybe because they didn't want to, like, throw a bad picture of themselves at the girls, I don't know. But the second BBG emerged, everyone's like, suddenly you were like, you had space to breathe again. It was kind of magical in a way. But yeah, the girls came on stage, and I swear, guys, that moment, and I never had that before my entire life, everything around me disappeared. I was really like, I was in a tunnel. I was seeing the three of them. It was only them and me in that moment. And they came on stage and they started to perform, and I could not believe it. Seriously, I could not believe what I was witnessing there. BBG's performance. They are real. They are. I saw them right in front of me. And they performed around 7 songs? 8 songs? Something like this. And everyone was like singing along. I think, what was the last song they performed? I think the last song was Bop Bop. Was it Bop Bop? I think it was. I was so overwhelmed from everything that happened there. But the second or the moment where kind of like, I'll talk about it later. When they performed like Love, Love, Love. It was so insane. I mean, you probably have seen the music show performance. At least I hope for you that you did. It was so surreal to see them perform this, to see them perform. I think, did they start with Love 8? I think they started with Love 8. To see in the crowd the people, of course, I was also going like, love it, love it, love it, love it, doing this little hand choreo. Obviously, I did it, and the people around me also did it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I love 8. We all did it. together and screamed at the girls, and it was so cool to see them smiling the whole time through their performances. They looked at us, smiled at us, and what I want to praise the most about BBG's performance is that from all of the people performing there, BBG seemed the most relaxed in a way that they like genuinely just enjoyed performing, you know, because they did not most of the time, like once again, what I also really loved about Red Velvet's performance, they did not stand on stage and the whole time were like super focused on doing the choreo perfectly without any mistakes. No, they were doing some moves more serious than others. They were goofing around during the performances. They were playing with each other during the performances. They who was it? Was it Eunha maybe? I think it was Eunha, yeah. Also, like, forgot a moment that they played so much with the crowd and with each other that they forgot a little move or a little transition, a position transition during the performance. And this is exactly what I want to see at a performance like this, you know? It's okay. You know, I want them to be on stage and I want to see that they love being there. This is what I personally want from a performance when I see it live, when I'm at a concert or I'm at a festival. Of course, I like when they also did that, like regular choreo, perfectly executed, and then in between a bit of goofing around. They, in my opinion, found the perfect balance there. And the absolute highlight for me of BBG's performance, this is probably no surprise, but this was really a surreal experience. We were standing there, they were talking, I think it was not right after a performance, but I could be wrong there. We're talking with us, and then they got into formation, and the second they got into the formation, I started screaming, and I think the rest too. I don't know if it was simultaneous with me or a bit after. I just heard my screaming in that moment because I lost my shit. I knew that they would perform it because SinB said it before, but the second the formation started, I completely broke. Yeah, I broke. This was the loudest I have ever screamed in my entire life, and probably ever will. Of course, I'm talking about Time for the Moon Night. And yeah, I was shaking. I was shivering the whole time. Like when BBG was on stage, but especially during Time for the Moon Night. I couldn't believe what was happening there. I mean, this is all time, like, together with Into the New World of SNSD, my favorite song of all time. Those three, with their dancers, going into position, and then performing the song. Umji doing the high note. Oh my god. Holy shit. The only thing I was a bit disappointed about the people around me was the fan chant in the beginning. You know this. Kim Se-chung, Young Yun Rin, Young Yun Bi, Cha Yu Da, Wang Yun Bi, Kim Ye Van, Yo Da, Chingu. I didn't hear many people doing it. I screamed it, obviously. But, and not as many people as I hoped for did the Umji. Then again, I screamed. Maybe I was just too loud and I didn't hear the others. But I feel like no. I feel like there were not many people enough who did it. I don't know if they like were too embarrassed to do it because they thought like not many people are going to do it. I don't know. I didn't give a shit. I did it. So if you heard someone scream Umji, it was me. If you were there. And yeah, this was a complete surreal experience. To see Time for the Moonlight live. I mean, yes, the only thing that would be able to beat that would be to see the 6 of them perform it, obviously. But that moment alone was enough for me to like say, and this is really something I can say. This may be, yeah, I think it's safe to say that, especially Cherry Bullet, BBG, and Red Velvet. Okay, BBG alone would have been enough for that, honestly, but all of these together and the entire day with all the other artists, really have to say, best day of my life. That was absolutely mind-blowing for me, and I will definitely never forget that. Especially not BBG performing, and one moment I will never forget. And this I will take to the freaking grave, guys. I did the heart while SinB was there in front of me. She looked at me. She saw. I did the here, the wing heart. She looked at me and she did it back. For a brief moment. For like 1 second. That felt for me like a whole year. She knew of my existence. She knew. That's the what more? What more could one humble human, as I am, ask for, as getting graced by the like recognition of SinB? Holy shit! This was really the moment I felt like my heart stopped, and I'm not shitting you. I was like, oh my god. Everything else stopped existing in that moment. She did the heart back, smiled at me with the most adorable smile I will never forget, and then continued with the performance. Yeah, and that is the best day of my life, guys. That is it. And yeah, what more should I say to this? How long am I talking? Holy shit, no. I thought this would be like a 20-minute video. I'm sorry. Podcast, I mean. Okay. Then that was the MIK festival. So, before I say overall again what I really liked about it, and I will briefly tell you about how I witnessed the hip hop day. Negative things, and this is honestly not about the MIK. The MIK really did a great job, but this is about people. I already talked about it before. Is it really that difficult to pay attention to the people around you? Like, as I said, suddenly, when BBG came on the stage, the people ran towards the freaking stage, like, squashed each other. And as I said, I mean, this girl in front of me, she, like, got completely, like, squashed into the fence. Like, what the fuck? Is it really so difficult to not be an asshole? Like, to pay attention to the people around you? Like, this is nothing. What do people expect? Like, when you are that far, like, in the back, as the people were pushing, as I said, I turned around and I saw the people pushing, like, I don't know how many rows behind, okay? You don't get closer like you are right now. The only thing they did was like hurting people. Theoretically, the girl in front of me wasn't hurt, thankfully. But that was I was so pissed in that moment. And right before BBG emerged. I didn't want to be pissed before BBG emerged. I want to be happy. But I was pissed. But yeah, that was like super annoying. And another thing I really have to say, I hate. And I only have experience with K-pop concerts. If you have experience with other kinds of concerts, tell me if it's different. But something I hate to the grave is people standing there in the crowd the whole fucking time doing this. Like holding their phones up and filming the whole fucking thing. Why do I hate it? The main reason why I hate it is that people who are smaller than me, and I already have to. I'm not even tall, you know. I'm like 175. Okay, this is not tall, especially not like for Western or Germany at least. But in K-pop concerts, there are often like people from Asia and stuff, and other kinds of the plants who are just like on the average a bit smaller. So for me, I often am a bit more lucky there. But when someone is holding their phone up like this, I have already problems seeing the stage. In the MIK, not that much because I was so far in the front. But at other concerts, I already have that problem. But for other people behind me, they have no fucking chance but to see the concert through the screen of someone in front of them. And I hate that. I freaking hate that. Then I can just watch it like from home. I can just look up fan cams and watch the concert there. Same experience. Plus, I don't have to like fear of getting like a heat stroke and shit like this. I can just chill at home with a nice drink in my hand, enjoy the fan cams. I don't freaking get why people have to do it. I don't have a problem with people getting their phones out obsessionally and film something. But I have a major problem with people filming the whole fucking thing. It annoys me, it is a distraction, and I don't really get what you want to do with that. The only thing that makes sense for me, what people want to do with this, is upload it on YouTube and get the clicks. This is the only thing I can think of these people. The only thing you care about are the clicks, and the people behind you don't care a flying fuck about. And this is something at every concert that is pissing me off so hard. And because I don't, seriously, what annoys me is people, yeah, but this is like, this is a memory and stuff. How often do you rewatch these videos? You don't need these videos. Being there, witnessing, I will never forget this concert. I will never forget it. I will never forget Cherry Bullet in front of me. I will never forget Yuju. Notice, I will never in my freaking life forget Chinbi looking right at me, doing the heart. I will never forget BBG performing. I will never forget Red Velvet performing You Better Know and Red Flavor right in front of my face. I will never forget that. I can replay it in my head. What is going to happen with those videos? You may be going to watch it once or twice after, and then you will forget it. And maybe someday it will get deleted because of changing your phone. You didn't upload it somewhere and stuff. It will just be gone. You will just forget it. This is what's going to happen with those videos. If you want to rewatch these performances, watch fan cams. Watch fan cams of like people with actual camera equipment that and positions that where you can actually see shit. Because I saw people from the like regular from the not golden circle but from the regular rows that were their front row and had real cameras, like 4K shit, filming this whole thing. This is going to be on YouTube. You can look it up. Better quality than all the shit you could. Because your videos are going to be like this. They're going to be shaky. You're going to have arms in front. You're going to have the screams of a person that's right next to the microphone. These recordings are shit. And this is pissing me off so hard each and every time for every concert, every time. That said, MIK, I really have to praise the MIK because I was also at the Kpop Flex in Frankfurt, and that was one huge mess. I loved the concert itself, the festival. No, the performance. I loved. The festival was shit. But the MIK was really good. They planned out everything well. They built the stage right. The stage was so high that from everywhere you stood, you could see the artists really well. The stage looked great. It was a nice design overall. The camera people that filmed everything did a really great job. There were so many cameras, and they always cut nicely on the big screens between those things. I mean, of course, what you can always criticize is the prices for... Okay, food is one thing. But for, like, something to drink, this is really disgusting. Like, to charge, like, what was it? £5 for a cup of water? This is not cool. Like, seriously, this is really not cool. Outside, scorching heat, right in the sun. Come on. This is just so not cool, but it's on every freaking festival. But I'm still blaming the MIK festival for it, because you could be cool, but they weren't in that regard. Food, I don't care. I never eat on festivals. There I go outside and eat something where it's not that expensive. But they could also lower the prices. But for something to drink, especially water. If you want to do it for Coke or other beverages, I don't care. But for water, fuck you, honestly. But yeah, overall, I have to praise the MIK festival for everything. It went pretty smoothly. The security did a great job. The people did not feel, they weren't pissed as I was in Frankfurt. Like, everyone was super pissed. Like, they looked at us like they hated us for being at that concert, the staff there. The staff at the MIK, they were happy the whole time. Of course, sometimes they were a bit more tense, depending on the situation, but they were nice the whole time. They were mostly smiling, and they were understanding for us, and due to that we were understanding to them. So that was really, really, really cool. Now, only a few words to the second day, because there's not much I can say. The second day, the hip hop day, I didn't go there because honestly it was just too expensive for me personally. I didn't want to buy another ticket. Then I would have bought a really regular ticket, but it turns out for me, and this is the last time I made a perfect call, a perfect choice, I didn't need to, because what we did, we scouted before already. We knew how the outside looked, and from those lower fences where we filmed over 2 days before, thinking from the hip-hop day, we knew that when you're just a bit farther away, you can look over the fences perfectly, even when you're sitting down on the grass, and you can see one of the huge-ass monitors. And based on the K-pop day, we knew how loud it was there, and we knew you would be able to hear it perfectly on the outside. It was open air. So what we did, we bought something to eat, something to drink, went there in the morning, when it just started, sat there, ate something, drinking, perfect view on the big monitor, and we watched and listened to crystal clear the performance there. We weren't there the whole time. We also went out to do a bit of K-pop album shopping, which did not work. Terrible timing, because obviously it was after the K-pop day and everyone wanted to go there, and the lines, the queues were endless, and we decided to go a different day. But we came back there later, sit down. What did I see? I saw Epic High, which was really cool. Epic High is amazing. And I saw at the end J Park, which was also really cool and fun, and everyone loved it. And there at J Park also, I was on the outside. I was lying down on the grass again, looking in the, once again, perfectly dark sky, which looked like it was about to rain. I love this weather, I have to add. I loved it. And J Park was doing his show, and I was chilling there. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. K-pop day was perfect for me. Like, I mean, the hip hop day, perfect for me. So at the end, like, I can say I loved both days of the MIK, even though I really attended only one. But seriously, the K-pop day was an absolute highlight of my entire life. And I don't know if they're going to do the MIK festival again next year, but if they will, based on this year, I can recommend it to you all. I can recommend to you to go there if they organize it the same way they did this year, and I guess they will do it even better since they're learning. This is definitely a festival you can go to and enjoy your time at. Now, guys, that was me talking over an hour about the MIK festival. I hope it was somewhat interesting for you to hear me rambling and fanboying about what I have witnessed. But I'm really happy that I was able to to tell you all of that. As always, I'm really surprised how much I have actually to say. I really thought like, okay, 20 minutes and then maybe half an hour and the video and then the podcast will be over. Well, little did I know. But please let me know your opinions in the comments below. If you like this episode, and were you there? Like, were you at the MIK? If yes, let me know your opinions in the comments below. Maybe you have a different opinion. Maybe you saw things that you did not enjoy, or maybe you disagree with some things I say, or maybe you have an opinion on the performances of Pentagon, Golden Child, and Holland that I did not really talk about now. Please, everything in the comments. And thank you guys so much for your attention, and I hope I see you next time to the next video, whatever it's going to be. Maybe me talking about the next podcast, the next AyoGG episode, which may be me talking about another concert I'm going to. Like, seriously, this year I'm going to more concerts than I have been my entire life, because I'm going to go in September to the Luna concert in Frankfurt again, and maybe I will talk a bit in a podcast episode about this if you're interested. So guys, thank you for your attention, and bye!